Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time. Some say that Tom is like a giant among men. Others say he's a little obsessed.
I don't even have a top 10.
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time.
Hey, welcome back. This is it. If you've just come to this one, because anytime anyone does any top 100 list, everyone always skips the first 90. They just want to see what the top 10 are.
Cheaters! Welcome. For the first time.
You read the last page in a book first.
Unless you
shouldn't do that.
Okay.
the other.
Just to catch you up to speed, since some of you are here the first time, my name's Tom Vasel. I review a lot of games. Over the course of the year, I review 300, 400 games. I play a lot of games, and so for each year, for fun, I make my top 100 list. This year, in a moment of temporary insanity, I invited Sam and Z, my gaming group, to come and criticize my choices. Actually, they were supposed to compliment them. That has rarely happened.
That was never part of the deal.
Yeah, I thought that was.
We were sounding boards.
Yeah, I thought we basically told you how bad your list was. Isn't that the.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, these are my top 10 current favorites. This could change, of course, but
Tomorrow.
no. Although there's one that has never been on the list before.
Cool.
But it's not going to be as big of a surprise as you think. Here we go.
And now, the top 10. Beginning with Battleground Fantasy Warfare.
Number 10 for me. I'm not a big miniatures gamer. Sam is more of a miniatures gamer than me. And the big difference between Sam and me with miniature gaming is that he actually likes to put them together and paint them. I do not. I would prefer to buy them painted already. Mm-hmm. But if I can get a miniature game where I don't have to paint them at all, so much the better. And that is what Battleground Fantasy Warfare is. Battleground Fantasy Warfare. I have them all back here.
Is this the cards one?
Yes. It's right here. This is this is the High Elves. This is like 3,000 points worth of High Elves here in this box. There's a whole army, and I have a box for all these armies here. Okay. And it's a good, solid miniatures game on top of that. I love it. I mean, I just played it a few weeks ago. No, look, I know this isn't your style of game.
Hype.
I know it's not hype. I know that's not your style of game, so not. I wouldn't. But I'm telling you, for me, I think it's phenomenal.
Well, I don't like miniatures games, but I also don't like games that pretend to be miniatures games.
You won't like this game either.
Okay, whatever. Seriously, I think it's a strong game. You don't like it because you don't like the fact that there's no miniatures.
Yes.
But see, that doesn't bother me, and I love that fact that I have huge armies behind me.
You don't have huge armies. You have huge stacks of cards.
Oh, whatever.
I included this way back when. I think it was one of the first lists that we did. Games that looked stupid but were actually kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this was stupid because it was a miniatures game, but it wasn't miniatures. It was just cards. And it's a good game. But I haven't played it in so long. But I remember, the one thing I remember about playing it is that it made me want to play a miniatures game.
Okay. But
That's what it made me want to do. I didn't want to play it again, although I enjoyed the game. I wanted to play a miniatures game.
Okay.
Well, I guess, but see, I'm on that cusp of I like miniatures games, but I don't want to get so involved with them, so this works for me.
Sure, right. I've never played it. You've talked about this game. This has been on your list for a while, right? I mean.
Yeah, it was. It started off when it came on at. Yeah, I don't remember. It was 8, 4, 7, 7, 10, 10. So yeah, it's stayed pretty steady.
Cool. Is this the highest miniatures game on your list?
Let's get to number 9.
Almost had a spoiler for you.
Number 9. Le Havre.
Number 9 is by the famous designer Stefan Feld. That's a lie. Uwe Rosenberg, actually.
I love how he says Stefan Feld like to scare us, and then goes Uwe Rosenberg like we're like, oh, good old Uwe.
No, Le Havre. La Havre. I really like it. It's a solid game.
Havre.
I like it because I like Agricola a lot. But in Agricola, there are times where someone will put a worker there and you're like, oh, what am I supposed to do now?
Yeah, this is definitely a better miniatures game. I agree.
In La Havre, if Sam goes here and I was going to go there and take all that good stuff, I'm like, oh, but over here's a pile of good stuff too.
Right.
There's always good actions to take in La Havre, and I love that. It's like it's like playing a game of plentifulness, and I enjoy that. I don't know if you've played La Havre.
Yeah, I've played La Havre.
Did you like
Everything is so special.
I like it better. Okay, I like it better than Agricola.
I've
Oh
never
wow! Okay, thanks for that.
I like it better than
I've
Agricola.
actually not played it. I played Agricola and I was horrified. Then I played again. I was actually slightly more horrified. I skipped over a few of them. Then I played Ora Labora, and it was the same game. And I realized, goodbye, Uwe. We hardly knew you.
Yay!
Caverna, though. Whew, does that look good?
Number 8. War of Indines.
All right, this game was number 19 last year. Moved up to number 8, and I suspect could move higher. And while this game moves higher, Yomi's probably going to drop because they're in the exact same category, and that is two games. Well, they're the same game, really. War of Indines or Devastation of Indines. Now, this actually plays a little slower than Yomi. You were talking about, Yomi having stuff. This game, you put the cards together, and it's a Street Fighter game, but it is phenomenal. Okay, it is amazing how every character in the game, and I think there's like 40 of them now, feel completely different. And the back and forth, and I'm just stunning design.
Phenomenal. He uses that word.
Too much, you think?
Definitely for this game.
Okay. Oh, you don't like this one?
No, I like it, but it's not phenomenal.
Oh, I played it.
You make it sound like it's earth-shattering.
It is.
Good.
I'm telling you, folks. This is a game I'm going to keep shouting the praise of because most of the big name reviewers are not talking about it, not making a big deal. This game is great.
I have to get this played. I have to get this played.
It's cool, but great.
Is it phenomenal?
No. It's
Does it shatter anything?
no.
All right.
It could. I've seen the box.
It's heavy. If you throw it at something, it might shatter a window.
Yeah.
Let's get to the safest pick on my list.
Oh my man.
Number 7. Ticket to Ride.
Okay. Safest pick. What would that be? What would be the one pick that you knew was going to be in my top 100 and that everyone would probably agree and say that's an okay game to put in your top 100?
Counter, but no, it's not here.
Well, no, not everyone. Yeah, Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride. Come on.
Okay.
Ticket to Ride is, I mean, and the thing is, for me, it's pretty interesting that Ticket to Ride, it's one of those games that everybody likes it type thing,
Right.
and it's still in my top 10. Because, now, part of that's because they keep releasing cool new maps for it, and that helps.
So
but
it's
even if you take those maps out, and I probably played the base game.
So is this Ticket to Ride Europe? Are you grouping it all
I'm
together?
grouping it all together because I don't think there's enough.
Cheating.
106 games. now.
110.
No, are you really think there's that much of a difference between them?
No, but you should have a favorite.
Oh, it is. Yeah, Ticket to Ride, the base game. Markland's pretty good. Markland's pretty good.
Really, I don't like that one actually.
Africa and India are also pretty good.
Those are maps. Those are expansions.
Oh!
That's okay.
Okay.
We'll give you expansions. Just you cannot.
I can't believe you guys are giving me garbage on Ticket to Ride.
No, we're just wanting you to
be
make a
cohesive.
decision.
Make up your mind.
Make a decision.
Ticket to Ride 1910.
Tom Vassel's top 110 games. So. Ticket to Ride is a good choice.
This has been on my top 10 forever. 4, 5, 5, 4, 6, 7.
Yeah, no, I'm not questioning.
Ticket to Ride is probably
Just
the
stick
new.
out there. What's your favorite one? What's your favorite
I
one?
just said Ticket to Ride 1910.
19.
Big City.
So it's
Ticket
the
to Ride.
basic
American.
game with
American.
If I had to pick one, probably. Yeah.
I like Ticket to Ride Europe myself.
That's because he doesn't like confrontation.
I like Markland is my favorite.
I don't like Markland with the chits.
Okay.
I think it's fiddly.
The
I don't like that.
chits part of it is what I don't like about it, but I love the passenger aspect of moving your passengers.
I'm just
along.
afraid I'm going to lose one of those chits one day. I'm going to. All right.
Cool.
Number 6. Duel of Ages 2.
This is a new game on my list, but it's really not new. It's just the second edition, but it's different enough that the first edition is no longer ever going to be played again, and that's Duel of Ages 2. Now, you guys haven't played Duel of Ages 2. You played Duel of Ages 1. 2 is a very big change, and yet at the same time, I can't imagine anybody who said, I don't like Duel of Ages, and then they play Duel of Ages 2 and they're like, oh, now I like it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's the exact same group of people.
Yeah.
A lot of the things are the same, and a lot of things are different. Now, Sam would probably be disappointed with the fact they took dice out of the game.
Really?
You flip a card, which I was annoyed about. I was like, what? I want dice! But the card flipping thing makes it much more streamlined. Instead of you saying, what number do I need to get? Okay, I rolled this, add the modifier, now you flip over a card and you see what happens.
Okay.
And it makes it a lot simpler.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but wasn't this at one point your number one?
Duel of Ages 1 was my number 1 for like several years, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great, I mean, look, it's still number
it's
6.
great,
That's still
great.
pretty high. I love variety. I've said that things I look for in a great game. Variety is one, and there's no question that the variety in this game is phenomenal.
Right.
You know, 130 characters with 500 different weapons and different scenarios. You'll never, ever do the same combo.
The only real thing that I disliked about this game was the chaos level of it. I mean, it just had so many things going on. You had your team, and you know they would try to go over here to win this event, and somebody would try to come over here, and then you met somebody in the middle of nowhere, and you had to fight them too. And it seemed like a bunch of different mechanics with no cohesion.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. I played once, and it was the stupidest game. We were trying to walk into this forest, and we kept getting teleported back. It was just the dumbest game. I was like, what's going on? This is Duel of Ages.
You know, it's kind of weird. I think with Duel of Ages, it's one of those games. Like I saw some people playing at Dice Tower Con, and I felt like stop. Let me teach you.
Okay.
Because to get it from the rule book is such a brutal task.
Right.
It really is. Because the same thing happened in our gaming group. I saw some people and I was like, okay, go ahead and have fun. And that was mean of me because that table basically imploded later on. But I love it and it's fun. Duel of Ages 2.
Number 5, Heroescape.
Number 5, you asked me if there was any other miniatures games.
Oh wait, can I guess?
Yes.
Has Heroescape been on your list?
No, it has not. I mean, if a game's going to take up half my room,
That's it.
it's
then.
probably, yes, Heroescape. I think Heroescape is great. It's kind of funny because 10 years ago we'd have talked about this, everybody would know what we're talking about. New gamers are like, oh, this game's great, I'm going to go buy it. Bad news, guys. Not only is it out of print,
Sorry.
but the Heroescape fans are so fanatical that they buy up all the sets on eBay. It's really expensive. So if you find it at a yard sale, get it and then play it. It's super fun, but it's pricey to get into at this point, and it will probably never be reprinted. Isn't that great? It's my number 5. this is such an encouraging thing. But if you really like it, you can find people to play it with, because the people who do have Heroescape, I mean, you see my Heroescape collection. It's somewhat big, and there's people who have 100 times bigger stuff than me. It's crazy. There's a guy up in Broward who has like 5 times as much as me, and then those, like when he does a tournament, he brings everything. He sets up all the different displays, so you can still play it. But to me, I like it. I know that it's too simple for Sam on one level, but I just love the sheer fun of it. The sheer fun of taking up anybody against everything. It's kind of like you mentioned Duel of Ages was kind of all this stuff going on. Heroescape, for me, is that one tiny step above Duel of Ages because they're almost the exact same theme, but Heroescape's so easy. What do I do? Roll some dice and you do it. It's not hard.
Probably got the longest setup time of the world, though.
Well, you can play smaller maps.
Yeah, but I mean,
But we never do.
Even the small maps take a half hour to set up.
Yeah.
And that is actually why I don't play it as much.
Right.
Because I'm like, oh, yeah, I want to play Heroescape, but all right, fine, get
And
out
you
the
spend
boxes.
so much time. You spend so much time setting it up that you don't want to take it down right away.
Right,
So
right.
It stays on your table for a week.
Oh wait, I can do that now.
Well,
All right.
Not really. Yeah, I like the game. I used to have it. I gave it to you because I didn't play it nearly enough. I had just the base set, one base set, which is like people probably out there going, "Oh, you never played it then."
He's only had one set.
That's not having it. But yeah, it's a cool game. I like it. I like how simple it is, like you said.
All right.
Coming in at number 4, Summoner Wars.
Top 4 now, and I think I'm all good with Sam at this point. I think you will approve of all 4 of these. Maybe not where they are, but you will approve of the games. Number 4 is a phenomenal, small, tactical 2-player card game. Just great game, and that's Summoner Wars. Summoner Wars, I love it. I can't even count the number of times I've played it now. They keep releasing new stuff, and I'm willing to play it over and over and over and over again. And I think you and your sons like playing this one.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, you know, this is the thing we just talked about, HeroScape, and the huge setup time. The thing I like about Summoner Wars is you go, boom, and you're set up.
Yeah.
It takes a minute to set up.
4 cards to put out there, and you're ready to go.
And I just love it. And it gives a very similar feeling. Mm-hmm. And I thought Sam would initially dislike it because it uses cards as miniatures in a sense.
No, it doesn't.
Well, you're moving the cards around, and there are people fighting each other.
Yeah, I understand that, but it
Well,
doesn't.
technically, they have no facing. They have a lot of stats you would
Right.
need to reference.
Right. It's not a miniatures game. It doesn't even purport itself that way.
Right. I mean, there's no... For me, the one thing that pushes me away from miniatures is measuring, which obviously a lot of games no longer have that. Like HeroScape is technically a miniature.
Yeah, a lot of miniature games are moving away from that.
The hexagonal overlay, gets rid of that issue I have. But yeah, there's no facing. There's no... it straddles the line maybe a little bit, but I'm kind of there with Sam, where it feels like a card game with spatial elements.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's a great one.
Summoner Wars.
Number 3, Descent.
7 last year, then 16 the year before that, and actually it wasn't technically on my list before that because this is a 2nd edition, and that's Descent 2.0. I liked Descent when it first came out, then it started dropping, then they came out with the campaign, and I was like, whoa! Went all the way up to number 2 at one point.
Yeah.
And then
Legend was awesome.
And then they brought in the new version, which has the campaign built right into it, but also lets you play it in such small clumps. Mm-hmm. And finally, the new one lets me as the Overlord just play as hard as I want to. Mm. And I don't have to sit there and be like, oh, I might kill these guys. Now I'm sitting there going, I really want to kill them, And I don't feel, if I do kill them, you don't feel like it destroys you.
Still can.
Yeah, shut up. Wait till you see the tricks I have up my sleeve for the next campaign. But anyway, it really is a great game system. There's a lot, even if you buy Descent 2.0, just in the box, you get a lot of game in that box. And you can play it. To me, when I was a kid, I loved playing that Hero Quest. Mm-hmm. Okay, Hero Quest, the memories of that. This beats it in every single possible way. I love it. Descent.
Cool.
2nd edition.
I'm in with it.
Number 2, Mage Wars.
Number 2! Now, you guys know what my number 1 is.
Yep.
Can you guess number 2 with all the games I've gone through?
I don't remember half the games.
It's very similar to Summoner Wars in some aspects.
Wars,
Yes,
really?
Mage Wars is my number 2.
Really? You put
I
that up
really,
top?
really like Mage Wars.
Wow.
And I'll tell you because, now listen, and some people are like, oh, you like it better than Summoner Wars. Okay, yes, but Summoner Wars is number 4, okay?
Right.
In my top 10 games, I'll play any of them. Summoner Wars is faster to pull out and easier to play and has a lot of tactical advantages. Mage Wars is a much deeper game. I just played my daughter last night, and it was probably a 2-hour game. Maybe an hour and 45 minutes.
Really?
2 hours?
That's a long time.
Oh,
my.
Okay. How's that? You play 2-hour games.
Yeah, but that was just a 2-player game for
Not-
2 hours?
You played
Magic
2 hours.
Gathering for 2 hours.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, it was epic and fun. I was, I was playing a necromancer and summoning all these skeletons and hitting her, and then she would heal herself. It was really annoying, and it felt really fun, and I enjoyed that so much. It's on a different level. I don't it's comparable to Magic the Gathering, but it's much deeper. You know, Magic the Gathering, you can go and play games really fast.
Yeah.
This, I'm moving around. I get to chuck dice. It includes a lot of things I like about a game. I can build my deck, and if there's a really cool card, I can play that card.
Anytime.
I might not win. I can sit there and say, I'm going to save mana so I can play this card, and I can definitely play a card.
Right.
Any combo I want to pull off, I can pull off. So, I don't know. I just really enjoy it.
That's one of the main things that I liked about Mage Wars. It departed from the whole deck building thing to where you want to put a card into your deck, but you might not get it.
Right.
Right.
This way, you definitely can get it now. You just need to use it at the right time to gain optimal performance or whatever.
I'm surprised no one else has copied this idea. Can you imagine Star Wars where you could pick the characters that you put out? I'd love a game like that.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. Anyway, Mage Wars.
Not bad.
And finally, number 1. Cosmic Encounter.
Nobody's surprised. This has been number 1 for 4 years in a row now, and that's Cosmic Encounter.
Right.
What else can I say? And fortunately for me, even though Sam would not pick Cosmic as his number 1, in fact, he foolishly put it on the overrated games list.
Not foolishly.
Yeah.
It was not foolish.
Wow.
You got up and walked away.
That was a mic dropping event. That was not foolishness.
And I suspect it's in Z's top 10, maybe, or at least pretty high up there.
Yes.
And the fact is, though, every time we play this in a group, we have fun. And we play it fairly regularly, and
That's part of the reason why I wouldn't include it in my top 10 is because you do have to play with the right people.
Oh man, I would say that about almost every game in my top 100 list.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. There's
No. Like
Oh,
Ticket
look,
to
it's
Ride.
like saying, for sale. Don't play with heavy gamers. They're not the right people. Party games. Don't play with people who hate party games. They're not the right people.
No,
He said
no,
about every game,
No,
just
no,
about.
no. What I'm saying is that you can play for sale with heavy gamers if they use it as a filler, and they'll accept it as a filler. They will not take it as a headliner.
Right.
But there are some people that will not like.
I think you're going to say that some people can ruin the game for you.
It can ruin the game for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
But fortunately,
And I think you'll run into those people more often with a game like Cosmic Encounter than with other games.
you know what,
This
though?
game is more polarized. than others.
I can't remember the last time I played this and had a bad time. And maybe
You
that's...
can't.
No, I know what game you're thinking of, and even then we just make fun of that person the whole game.
But you remember it.
Well, yeah, I just
just
thought it was
lied.
funny. No, I didn't
It
ruin
was
the
a bad
funny.
experience.
No, the game didn't ruin it. Didn't ruin it for me.
That was an awkward, uneasy situation, and you know it. You're just being nice.
Hit up the comments below. Sam will tell you all about it.
I'm just saying. I mean,
All right. Well, anyway, that's that. Top 100. Whoa! All right, the can's empty.
Oh.
All right. So anyway, that's our top 100 games of all time.
that's your.
What? Yeah, mine.
games.
One more video.
Don't put my name on that.
One more video, and we're gonna tell you about some of the games that didn't make it.
Some say that Tom is like a giant among men. Others say he's a little obsessed.
I don't even have a top 10.
Tom Vassel's top 100 games of all time.
Number 3, Descent. No, that's terrible. Problem. I did that joke before.